Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to be studying The Tyger by William Blake. Before we look at the poem, let's have a look at our poet. So, William Blake was a romantic poet. He wrote in the late 1700s or late 18th century. He was mostly unrecognized in his lifetime, and in his writing, he prioritized feelings, emotions, and imagination over logic and facts. He had a deep admiration of nature, youth, and heroic individualism, and he expressed overwhelming human emotion in his poetry. William Wordsworth, who was also a poet in the Romantic era, once said that poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, and certainly we see that in this poem, The Tyger. I would really encourage you to watch this reading of the poem. You can type this into YouTube, into your search bar, and it should come up. It gives you a great idea of the atmosphere created around the Tyger and how powerful and majestic the Tyger is. Let's read the poem together. Tyger, Tyger, burning bright, in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain, in what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tyger, Tyger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? Let's have a look at our themes and our structure. So for our themes, we have creation and origin. We also have the majesty and the power of the creator, who is assumed to be God in this poem. But more importantly, the speaker is in awe of the beauty of the Tyger, and by virtue of this, he is in awe of the creator who made the Tyger. The structure is made up of 6 stanzas, 4 lines each. The rhyme scheme is A, A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F, etc., etc. So we have pair rhyme. It emphasizes or it highlights the restraint that God used when he created the Tyger. Certainly creating such a majestic, powerful being would require much strength, but also much restraint. The structure also shows the harmony in nature, which was a focal point for romantic poets like Blake. Let's analyze our poem. Stanza 1 questions who or what made the Tyger. Lines 1 and 2 addresses the Tyger directly, and then throughout the poem we have this direct address of the Tyger. There is the repetition of the word Tyger, which adds to the sense of mystery of the poem or the creature. And then we have the alliteration of the burning bright, which is also a metaphor because of the Tyger's stripes. The Tyger's stripes, which are literally orange and black, are compared to a fire burning, which really emphasizes or shows us the power and the energy of the Tyger. We then have this idea of forests in the night, or forests of the night, which increases the mystery of the Tyger and of the poem. We have this because nighttime is dark. Obviously at night, if there are no lights, if you are outside in the forest, you can't see anything. And then certainly with a forest, all you can see in front of you are a few trees. You cannot see out into the distance like you would be able to if you were on an open plain. And so it creates a sense of mystery. We then have the introduction of the central question of the poem, which is, who created this being? What or who is so powerful that they could create, he or she could create such a mighty creature? The Tyger is fearful because it is a scary Tyger, but the symmetry implies that its beauty, mystery, and majesty is those are the things that terrify us. The symmetry also refers to the perfection of the divinity of the Creator. Stanza 2 then questions the tiger about where he was created. Lines 5 and 6 introduces the idea of something distant or somewhere distant, somewhere deep. Distant refers to an otherworldly type of place. And then we have the idea of skies and deeps. So skies could refer to heaven and deeps could refer to hell. We have the metaphor of the burning that reappears, and this adds to the fearfulness of the tiger. The he that is referred to is likely referring to God. It's never stipulated, certainly at this point in the poem, but it does refer to a creator. Daring is introduced, and it is a daring act that the creator really would create such a mighty, powerful, majestic creature. Stanza 3 questions the tiger about how the creator formed him and continues the question, who created the tiger? The art refers to the intricacies of the tiger and the skill it takes to create this being. Shoulder refers to the bodily strength it would take to create such a mighty creature. If one is creating such a mighty creature, surely it means that one creating the mighty creature would have to be mightier, would have to be more powerful. And that is true of the creator in this poem. The question asked, or questions asked in line 12 are left completely unanswered, much like the other rhetorical questions, but these questions seem to be a little heavier. When the tiger came to life and its heart began beating, what did the creator do then? Was the creator afraid? Did the creator dread this creation? Stanza 4 then questions the tiger about what tools were used. There is a metaphor of a blacksmith, an extended metaphor of a blacksmith who forms metal with things like a hammer, a chain, a furnace, an anvil. These tools are harsh tools. It requires some strength to use tools like these. This is also a reference to the technology and the progress of technology at the time. Lines 15 and 16 introduce the idea of this task being a daring task. This idea of daring appears again, and now we have the word deadly. The tiger is seen as deadly. The tiger creates terror in people because it is a mighty, powerful, and certainly it could be a deadly animal. Stanza 5 questions how the creator reacted after making the tiger. There is personification of the stars, where the stars are compared to warriors throwing down their spears. That these lines could also refer to angels being cast down after Satan rebelled against God. I would encourage you at this point to make a note of this and perhaps go and do your own research on this. We could spend an entire video analyzing simply just these lines and the biblical allusion to the angels that were cast down from heaven when they decided to follow Satan as he rebelled against God. We then have the reference to he again, and now this clearly refers to God, even though it does not use the word God. We know this because we have the word lamb, okay? The lamb has a capital L, so we know that the L refers to Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ came down in human form, and he's referred to as the lamb in the Bible. Stanza 6 then questions who exactly made the tiger. So we're going back to the question that was asked in stanza 1, who made you? We're still addressing the tiger directly, and we have a repetition largely of what happens in stanza 1, what is said in stanza 1. It says, tiger, tiger, burning bright, in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye, except now we have a change. Instead of the word could, so instead of referring to ability, we have the word dare. Dare frame thy fearful symmetry. Dare refers more to the gumption or the skill, the art, the control it would take to create such a beautiful, majestic, powerful, mighty, possibly even deadly creature. And this is the crux of the poem. The skill, the art, the control, the intricacy that it would take to create such a creature. And then, in light of that, the power and the majesty of the creator. And in the poem, that creator is God. As a comparative study, we could look at the poem The Lamb, also written by William Blake. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Gave thee life and bid thee feed by the stream and o'er the mead, gave thee clothing of delight, softest clothing, woolly bright, gave thee such a tender voice, making all the vales rejoice. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Little lamb, I'll tell thee. Little lamb, I'll tell thee. He is called by thy name, for he calls himself a lamb. He is meek and he is mild. He became a little child. I a child and thou a lamb. We are called by his name. Little lamb, God bless thee. Little lamb, God bless thee. This is a great comparative poem because it really looks at how such a strong, powerful creature could be created by someone or something, a creator, a God, who also creates such a gentle, meek, and mild creature. It really shows the capacity and the ability of this creator, how absolutely majestic and powerful and mighty, but also how intricately designed each of these creatures are by the creator. So I would encourage you to have a look at this poem, The Lamb, in more detail as a comparative study.